Hello, James, and welcome to the halfway report. We are now halfway, pretty sure almost exactly halfway through the year. So, like, not just month wise, I think halfway through on weeks, Mondays left in the year. Possibly, should double check that. Anywho, we're getting there, if nothing else, this week or next. But yeah, I think it's been good. A lot of stuff happening on my end. I've been loving the stuff on your end. Like, kind of things have been changing. The last few Mondays, it has been more of these tutorials. Um, Seems like you record them live, don't edit them, and then you upload them. They have a kind of a live streamy vibe, which I don't mind. It feels more conversational, more like you're going through a project and kind of, oh, and maybe we should look at this kind of thing. Um, one suggestion is maybe you have a shot, and then instead of having the nodes all built out, you do it where you're like, here's the starting point. Now let's kind of build it out together. See, you kind of work on something like that. Not sure if that's something you're into, but something I thought about back when I used to do like coding live streams. You kind of you understood how things worked, or at least you thought you did, right? And you're like, oh, I wonder if I do this and do that, and you kind of make it up as you go along. Might be interesting. I think the Sigma looks really good as a webcam. So I think keep it. Nice little camera setup, and do if you're doing more of these, if you're liking the DaVinci tutorials that you're putting together. I'll have to think of more questions. I know you shared some stuff about color grading books and things. A lot of the stuff's I think's interesting and helpful. The noise reduction I've not tried yet. Talking to you a little bit, I am concerned about the the compute power, but I did see, at least when you're zoomed in, 100, 200%, you see that noticeable difference, and yeah, that splotchy grain color stuff is ugly in my opinion as well. But I also liked the breakdown more recently because the colors in that video of me up in those kind of like border Idaho, Oregon right there, which is a pretty spot. I always thought that was a cool looking area. Colors on that were spot on. So keep that up. I think that's really, really great. And it would be more interesting too, like you put like, yeah, maybe like, after a short film or something, like here's how I built out this shot or something. Yeah, specifically from those shots, which I guess that last one was, you were pulling from the shots from that previous film. So I think that's pretty cool. And then I think, let me know in the comments, like how, I know we've been talking about doing something like this for years, and then I think, what was it, November, December? I don't know. We were saying, like, let's make 2026 where we actually do monthly and weekly videos. I'm not, super pleased with some of the shorts I've put out, and I've had fun experimenting. I've had fun making them. The end results are kind of meh, but hopefully I'll work on that. I have been going, like what you were saying is like, find a local film group or something, or figure out, start figuring out stuff like that. So starting in January, or I probably found them in December, because I started going to their events in January, because they have one in-person event and then like two online events every month. Sorry about that. And it's Ole Film Collective. So they it's a nonprofit organization that tries to like support local filmmakers and get people together. And every year because I guess you buy or whatever to get into like these local film competitions. There's one in Tacoma, the 253 Film Festival. So yeah, I kind of helped out a little bit with the last one. Showed up like last day of filming and held the boom mic for a little bit. And then, and it was a 72-hour thing, so it was, but that film went to the Tacoma and won like for best, because there's multiple categories, and they won best for like matching the theme, I think it was. And then more recently, a gentleman I've met there, and he's part of the board, but he also has his own little kind of production company, and he does a lot of film stuff on the side, or on the side. I think that's his main gig. He's texted me a few times like, "Hey, you want to come down and help shoot?" I did a little bit of video for a coffee shop here. It's like late night coffee with and they have like a little stage where local artists play. Kind of a cool idea. Like it's like a I guess like a coffee shop bar. I mean, or like a bar, music, live music. I don't know. It was fun. Coffee was good. And I got to mess around with some random Sony camera. Very trusting. He's like, "Here, you know how to operate a camera?" I'm like, "Sure." But yeah, and then more recently he messaged me, and I worked on a project that wasn't his. He was just the direct DP, director of photography. I don't know why I was like, "Oh, what do I call that? A cinematographer?" Whatever. But I went on there and I kind of helped just move around lights. We blocked out one window because it was still pretty bright out when we started. I brought my little lights, the small rig one, the flashlight one you got me, and then that small rig, little rectangular one I picked up. So we used both of those. So I was just kind of adding a little bit of light here and there because we shot pretty late on that. So yeah, starting to get to know some of the local people that are actively working on stuff, like people that are actually making films, documentaries, video projects, people that are actually acting in certain stuff. So that it's fun and possibly helpful if I actually get some bigger projects, which I think about, but obviously I'm not doing much about. I keep on doing these small little projects, which are good. Some of the things that are good about it is the Fairlight page. I'm not good at it, but I'm more comfortable in it, and I think I'm getting better audio than I used to. And yeah, so anyway, the halfway report, we're kind of halfway through this year-long experiment of we gotta get things uploaded every Monday for me and every Friday for you, and then before the end of each month we have to have some kind of film or short or something up. And while I'm not, I guess, I kind of look back at some of the stuff, like the 6 months, and I'm like, this looks kind of, iffy, but I'm making more connections. I'm learning more about the software and hardware. And yeah, I think it could go good, could go well. The next 6 months, hopefully, I'm going to try to get a little more variety in my stuff, so it's not always the same kind of thing. Been picking up more films from the library and got to actually watch them. Been watching through, what did I watch last? Oh, so here we've got multiple library locations, obviously. Timberland Library is fairly big. I think it's multiple counties. And I usually go to West Olympia because it's convenient and location to just kind of go online, say, look for things or kind of browse and be like, okay, and then go pick up there. But we go to the Tumwater Library, and sometimes I probably should go there more because it's kind of a distraction, I guess. I go to there and go just down the movie aisles, and I got a whole stack of random movies, and basically I just pulled them out, looked at the back, I'm like, oh, this one's got a commentary. But one of the ones I found was In the Mouth of Madness by John Carpenter. And the commentary track on there was the director, John Carpenter, and the cinematographer. And they talked about lights, and they talked about lenses, and they talked about effects too, some effect shots. But yeah, I think every John Carpenter commentary I've listened to so far, I think is quite insightful. Like, it's not necessarily how things are done anymore. Like in The Fog, he talks about certain ways they're doing composites or mattes, not exactly how they do it these days. But a lot of other stuff, like he calls it the poor man's something, where they just, basically wiggle the car and they make it look like, driving when they're not. This one was really good. They talked about different lights. I thought John Carpenter was really good because the cinematographer might say, "Oh, in this shot we had a 10K," and John Carpenter would be like, "Oh, what is that?" for people who don't know what lights are. Which I'm not super. I'm noodling around with my lights here. I'm not super knowledgeable on that, but yeah, that was a good commentary. I should maybe give The Thing another try, and should also watch the film because I hear people think it's like cosmic horror stuff. So I should probably watch the film itself and go through the commentary. I just never finished the commentary track on it because the first 10-15 minutes was him and Kurt Russell being like, "Oh, I remember that day on set. We couldn't get whatever." Like it wasn't super informative, which I guess is fine. Like it could be just entertainment, just entertainment. That's why I watch films, right? But not why we watch commentaries. We want information. I should pick up the commentary Big Trouble in Little China because I think it has the special effects um, supervisor, main guy, on that commentary track. So that would be fun to check out. And our library does have it, so it's another thought I've been thinking about. Um, what else did I get? I got a bunch of others I gotta watch and go through. I started watching because I thought this had a commentary track. It's the first two films. I've never seen either one of them. Started watching it and enjoying it so far. Feel like maybe I should check out more Wes Craven films. Oh, because I do love Scream. Never watched the sequels. Don't know if he directed them though or wrote them. Anyway, I think he only was the writer and director of the first Nightmare on Elm Street, not the sequels either. But started watching it, then I had to go do some other stuff. But I picked that one up because the library's website said it had a commentary track. But when I popped that in, the DVD basically just says 1 or 2. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't see any special features on there. Still, looks like a good film, so it'll give me some ideas. Speaking of good films, I just watched Undertone. So my wife got like a Netflix HBO cheap bundle, I guess, for a month or two while the kids are out of school. And so I've been watching a bunch of HBO Max stuff. One of them, which is, they seem to have a lot of A24. And one of them is Undertone, which is made by a Canadian dude that I can't remember his name. But he shot it in his own house. The entire film, which is like an hour and 30 some minutes, has 2 people on screen. Unless you count the video they pull up with a face that's getting changed, which could have been a stock photo. I don't know. Maybe they just took a picture, because there was no acting in that one. And that's shown twice in the film, I think. And then there's, pictures and stuff, a few pictures. But yeah, but like actual actors on screen, there's 2. Maybe in this one shot, there's actually possibly 3. I'd have to go double check the shot again because it's a reflection shot and someone's in the mirror, but it looks like the grandma or the mom. Sorry if I'm a little snuffly. Anywho, we never see an establishing shot of the house. We never see, I don't think there's a single shot that is not inside the house. There's one incident where she leaves the house, but she's gone and then she comes back. We never ever leave inside the house. There's a couple other actors because a few phone calls and the main podcaster person that she works with, but I was like watching this shot in their own home, so, and they did have a set director change things around, and there is a shot towards the end. I was like, well, maybe they got some wallpaper and stuff or some paper they could have taped up or something to do that, because there's lots of drawings and things. I had another random idea how you could do that with no budget, but I just was thinking, like, how did they spend $500,000 on a film that looks like it could have been made, in a week, a weekend, a couple of weekends, and cut together by yourself? But I don't know. That one was interesting, but I've been thinking about it as like, I have a house, a couple of actors. I should try to, I keep saying, like, oh, how do they do this? I'm like, maybe they're SAG actors or whatever, and you have to pay them so much a day. But a lot of these low budget indie films are made for, like, oh, we only had 20 days to shoot. It was this and that. I think, in fact, in the Mouth of Madness, which I think he said was $10 million or something around there. It was multiple millions back in the 90s. That was, I think he said 35 days. Trucks are coming. My wife's calling. We'll try to wrap this up. But anywho, point is, I'm gonna try to test out something like a all in one location, film that's hopefully scary. For some reason, I keep thinking AI stuff, like maybe an AI trainer is training AI, and there's something weird in the data. But then I'm like, I don't know how this is scary. I don't know. Other random stuff running through my head on that one. This feels like a lot more rambly than it should be. Point is, halfway point. I think things are going pretty good. At least we're doing stuff, and hopefully, we're looking back at the stuff we've done and ask ourselves, why is it like this, and could it be better? Which I think it could be. So gonna go and try to make something better now. Talk to you again later. Ta-ta.